She left home casually, telling her parents she'd be spending the night with friends. They assumed she'd taken her White Rover 214i and gone camping like she often did. But this time, she never returned. She simply vanished. Today's case takes us to Richmond, North Yorkshire, a peaceful countryside town where 19-year-old Jenny Nicholl lived a life filled with music, friends, and long camping trips. She worked at the local co-op, played in a rock band, and was known in pubs around town. She lived with her mother and father Brian, and nothing about her life suggested she would choose to disappear. June 30th, 2005. Jenny headed out without saying where she was going. She told her mother she wouldn't be home that night, nothing unusual. But the next day, she missed plans with a friend, then missed her shift at work. By the fourth day, her mother reported her missing. Later that evening, Anne found Jenny's car abandoned in the parking lot of a local pub. Posters were put up everywhere. The description: slim, 5 feet 6 inches, green eyes, fair shoulder-length hair, blue jeans, black trainers, and her usual khaki parka. The town began searching desperately. Soon after, her parents discovered her nightdress and cosmetics hidden beneath leaves in the Sandbeck plantation woods. Police went door to door, growing more worried each day. On July 7th, an incident room was established and 20 officers were assigned. Jenny was well known in the local pubs, so detectives began interviewing regulars. Detective Inspector Pete Martin publicly pleaded, "Jenny, if you can see this, please call home." Despite massive searches, nothing surfaced until investigators uncovered a crucial detail. Jenny had been seeing an older man, David Hodgson, a married father of 2 in his 40s. He had actually known Jenny since she was 14. He denied a sexual relationship, then later admitted they had slept together only after she turned 16. Evidence later proved otherwise. David and his brother Robert knew the woodland well. They had built several huts and camping hides there. Though David claimed he never took Jenny there, forensic evidence confirmed they had sexual contact in 2 of the hides. 9 days after she vanished, David was questioned. The very next day, strange text messages began arriving from Jenny's phone, messages detectives believed were fake. They were sent from Carlisle and the Scottish borders, with details only someone close to Jenny would know. But linguistically, the writing style didn't match hers. Meanwhile, her phone was switched off permanently after those messages. It has never been found. Police noted that in genuine voluntary disappearances, people withdraw money, book travel, or prepare in some way. Jenny did none of that. She had prepaid a package of 25 tanning sessions and had used only 2. Her bank account remained untouched. By autumn, another disturbing detail emerged. Jenny had grown close not just to David, but to his brother Robert. The jealousy between the brothers gave police one more angle to explore. October 6th, Jenny's 20th birthday. Her mother hung a massive banner outside Jenny's workplace, pleading for information. CCTV photos from days before she vanished were released. On November 3rd, detectives announced the inevitable. This was no longer a missing persons case. It was a murder investigation. Shockingly, that same day David Hodgson gave an interview to the Northern Echo claiming he'd been receiving threats and insisting Jenny had run away. Behind the scenes, investigators uncovered another devastating blow to the family. Thousands of indecent images were found on her father's computer. Police confirmed it was unrelated, but the family endured public humiliation. January 2006. David and his brother were arrested. Robert was later released. David remained a suspect. Retired senior detectives were brought in to review the case. The search area grew to more than 150 acres of dense woodland, caves, and open moorland. Soldiers were even brought in, but still no sign of Jenny. Finally, in March, a major breakthrough. Jenny's portable stereo and her teddy bear were found hidden in Sandbeck Plantation, the same woods David frequently camped in. A year passed with no body, but investigators continued building their case. They learned that David had also gone camping the same night Jenny disappeared. He returned the next morning, but his hired car showed hundreds of unexplained miles, matching the locations from where the fake texts were sent. A forensic linguist was called in. Malcolm Coulthard analyzed 100 plus of David's texts, Jenny's messages, and the 3 after disappearance texts. He concluded, Jenny used 2 immediately before a word. The fake texts left a space. Jenny wrote, I'm. The fake text said, I am and ain't. Jenny wrote phone with an F. The fake text spelled it correctly. Even stranger, David spelled off as of, asked officers how to spell it, and used slang identical to the fake messages. While the expert couldn't say for certain David wrote them, he was clearly within the small group of possible senders. May 2007. With enough circumstantial and linguistic evidence, David Hodgson was charged with Jenny's murder. The 5-week trial was agonizing for Jenny's family. The defense tried to portray Jenny's home life as troubled, claims the judge later said had no basis whatsoever. Prosecutors argued David killed Jenny during a camping trip, hid her body somewhere in the countryside, and then sent the misleading text messages to cover his tracks. After 10 hours of deliberation, the jury returned a unanimous verdict: guilty. David Hodgson was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 18 years. He displayed no emotion. The judge condemned him for prolonging the family's suffering by concealing her body. Jenny's remains have never been found. Her parents supported Helen's law, ensuring murderers who refuse to reveal where a body is hidden face harsher parole decisions. David's own parole attempts have repeatedly failed, in part because of this law. For Jenny's mother, Anne, not knowing where her daughter lies is the deepest wound. The hardest part is thinking she was thrown away like she didn't matter. She mattered. She still matters. Jenny Nicholl was just 19. Manipulated from childhood by a man who ultimately stole her life, her future, and her family's peace. And although her killer sits behind bars, the truth about her final moments and the place where she rests remains tragically unseen.